Hey there guys, welcome to another session of Yoga Sculpt. We're going to do some magic this afternoon. It's afternoon where I am, so I hope you guys are rested and ready to go. This session of Yoga Sculpt is brought to you by progression and regression. So when I progress something, I make it more difficult, more challenging. I move it forward. When I regress, I move it back. I find a place that is comfortable, is doable, is sustainable for me. So I'm going to give you a bunch of options today in our core and our strength segments for progressing a movement and regressing a movement. Now, don't fall into the trap where you feel you've got to pick one over the other, because you don't. You can combine. So maybe the first round I want to challenge myself and I'm doing something maybe a little bit more than I normally would. I want to see how it feels. And maybe in the next round, I pull it back. I realize, wow, that was awesome, but I'm gonna stay here and do something a little different. And you can change it. Sometimes we're building our stamina, our endurance as we work through these sequences. So keep that in mind and give yourself a little bit of a break. So don't feel you've gotta go flat out for every movement. Something we don't give ourselves enough time for in our working out, in our fitness, is the notion of recovery. And that's a critical element as much as working yourself to fatigue, working your strength, working muscle hypertrophy, which is pumping those muscles up, getting them bigger and stronger. So progression and regression today. But before we get there, we're gonna do a little warm up in our yoga. So I'm gonna have you guys get onto your mats. Today for equipment, I'm gonna use a block for one of the movements we're gonna be using. And I've got my handy dumbbells. I've got 8-pounders, I've got some 12-pounders as well. So use whatever feels comfortable for you. And always remember, weights are optional. It helps us add external load and resistance to make our muscles stronger, but it's not necessary because body weight is a wonderful thing to work with. So as you get stronger and start to progress your workout, start adding some weights, or if you're feeling you want to alternate, maybe a little heavier, a little lighter, please feel free to do that. So you guys get your equipment kind of arranged around your mat, and we're going to get ourselves started in yoga. I'm going to talk you through some integration with breath, and we're going to start ourselves in tabletop on our mats. So come to hands and knees on your mat, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring you into child's pose. So take those knees and bring them to the outer edges of your mat. Naturally, your big toes are going to come back together to touch behind you. Shift your hips back onto your heels. Release your forehead to the mat. Go ahead, extend those arms in front of you nice and long, extending that spine, resting that forehead. You don't have to keep your elbows off the mat. Some people like to. It gives a little bit of an extra stretch in their shoulders, but if you're just starting to kind of move yourself around today, give yourself a break. Let's progress our warm-up, our integration. So as you settled onto your mat, start by taking a quick inventory of what's going on for you right now. Start at the top of your head and work your way down to your toes. I myself have been doing a lot of cycling this week. I've finally gotten back on my bike. It is really, really hot here in the desert. It is really miserable today. In fact, it's kind of overcast, but it's like still 105 degrees out, and it's not even noon yet when I'm filming this. So it's a little sticky. It's a little bit overwhelming. So take some time to take a quick inventory. Maybe you've been doing some hiking. My quads are a little sore from my yesterday's ride, so I'm going to be mindful of how my quads feel today. But take that inventory and identify spots in your body that need that attention, that love, and feel like whether you want to progress or regress. So remember, it's always your option. So after you've done that, let's take a little bit of time to create a nice, strong, rhythmic breath, especially important as we warm ourselves up. Once we get into our core and our strength sections, we're going to kind of drop the breath. But before we get there, let's use the breath to integrate mind and body. So seal your lips together and just start beginning that nice rhythmic inhale and exhale. All through your nose, inhaling, exhaling, a little deeper, a little fuller than your usual normal breath. Opening those lungs, really feeling them expand, feeling your back body expand as well, and settling into a rhythm and a pace that is comfortable, but more importantly, that is sustainable for you. So as you've settled in, we're going to add a little element to that breath. We're going to constrict the muscles at the bottom of our throat. And as you do that, what happens is you're going to create a little bit of a vibration, maybe a little bit of a humming noise as you exhale. And that is our Ujjayi pranayama, that nice, strong, victorious, or warrior's breath. Constricted breathing pattern. If you don't hear or feel a hum or a gurgle in your throat, no worries. If you're struggling, maybe just tilt your chin slightly towards your chest. Kind of can give you a little bit of that constriction. Remember, it's a small movement, so don't shut off your airways, but make sure that you're feeling that breath. And it's meant to move us mindfully through our breath, so that you think about it, you feel it, that mind is focused on the breath, which means your mind is focused on your body. Everything else just kind of falls away, all right? So I'm going to join you guys on the mat. I want you to take an inhale, bring yourself back into our tabletop position. You guys know tabletop's my favorite transitional position. Let's make sure we've got this down right. So knees about hip distance apart, fingers wide, palms flat. Stack those joints in your arms. I see a lot of people coming a little bit too far forward, which means you're pushing weight here, so you're getting an unnatural strain in your shoulders. So bring those hands back, line everything right up. I bring my hands a little closer to each other. Let's do some cow and cat. Exhale, round that back, drop your head, drop your tail. Inhale, go ahead, release that belly, lift your head up, lift your tail up. And again, exhale, round that back. Oh, feels good. Inhale, release. One more time, exhale, give that nice big round back, pushing away from that mat, sucking in your abs, and exhale, release. Let's do some hip rolls. So let's roll to the right. Thank you, Pip. That's my yoga assistant, Pip. Roll to the right again. I'm sure he'll have something to say during our workout. 3 times. Let's do one more time of a nice hip roll to the right. And come back to tabletop. Now let's hip roll the other direction to the left. And let's do that again. And again. And we've got one more time. Quickly hip rolling. Beautiful. So let's fingers wide, middle finger pointing forward, curl your toes under, and we're going to exhale into down dog. So shift those hips up. Oh, let your head hang, trying to create that nice inverted letter V, making a nice triangle shape with our body. So if this is your first down dog of the day, maybe take some time to bend one knee, bend the other. Rise up with the balls of both toes, bending those knees, stretching out that full back body, especially those hamstrings, and stretching it out. Let your head just dangle and relax. We're going to move into some sun salutation work, a nice way to work the body, warming it up. Take a big inhale, look up towards your hands, and as you exhale, go ahead and step yourself forward. Let's keep our feet hip distance apart again, about the width of 2 fists. And just let your arms hang. Knees, I've got mine slightly soft, not locking those joints out, head hanging. And I'm going to just maybe walk my hands to the outside edge of one foot, walk them back around the outside edge of the other. Maybe grab opposite elbows. A nice sway side to side is always fun. Beautiful. Let's release those fingertips back to the mat. Now, balance-wise, if you want to keep your feet separated, it's going to give you a little bigger base of support, so you're going to feel a little bit more balanced. If you toe heel your feet together, you're shortening and minimizing your balance base here. So I'm going to slowly rise up on my inhale to standing. As I come up, I'm going to roll my shoulders back slightly, and then I'm going to circle my arms overhead to the side. Yeah. Shoulders relaxed. So my shoulder is a wonderful thing. My scapula works in 180 degrees from here up to here. The first 60 degrees is where my scapula moves this way for support. So up to about here, and then I've got the full range of motion. So as I keep my shoulders relaxed, I'm keeping my scapula close against my body, allowing my muscles to support. And I'm looking forward, maybe even gazing slightly up. My pelvis is slightly tucked under, not a whole lot. And remember, don't ever really lock those knees out to the point that your quads are screaming at you. Keep them slightly soft. I like to think of my joints as sort of springs or cushions. Now I'm going to bring my palms together, and as I exhale, I'm going to slowly bring my hands, my thumb right down through my heart center, releasing back into forward fold. Again, I'm bending those knees nice and deep, releasing my belly to my thighs, planting my left hand on the mat, palm flat, middle finger pointing forward. I'm doing a nice supported twist. So I'm going to inhale that right arm up. And again, once I get the twist, I decide to straighten that right knee. And depending on how I'm feeling, I might want to do a little bit of a half a bind, which helps me open that shoulder up a little bit more. I find that if you keep your knees really bent and then move into a twist, you'll generally get a deeper twist. Let's exhale, bring that right hand back down, and again, bend both knees, belly to your thighs, right hand flat on your mat. We're inhaling the left arm up. Again, I've got the twist going. Maybe straightening that knee if I did it on the first side. And then I drop that bind on the first side, so I'm dropping it on the second. Beautiful. And again, I'm taking my exhale, bringing that left hand back down to my mat. Now, on my next inhale, I'm going to rise to that halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And in this posture, I don't want to have my hips shifted back. I really want to shift them forward. Try to keep a nice L shape here. All right, stacking my hips over my ankles, which means I may actually position my fingertips on the mat. And I'm keeping my neck neutral, so I'm looking forward. So a lot of people like to do this with their hands on their shins, which is fine, or maybe even your knees. Some people leave their fingertips on the mat, depending on your strength. Beautiful. Now let's go ahead and plant our hands flat on our mat. Step yourself back into plank. Let's hold our plank, pushing against the balls of those toes, pushing yourself back. Now shifting yourself forward a little bit. My core is nicely engaged. Now as I exhale, I'm going to lower myself all the way to the mat. So I'm going to exhale, elbows are angled behind me, pointing backwards, dropping onto the mat. From here, I'm going to go into a nice, easy, low cobra. So I'm going to inhale, head up, hearts up, maybe hands up, pressing my toes to the mat, lifting my knees, maybe gazing up. Beautiful. Drop those palms flat, curl those toes under. Exhale into downward facing dog. Back to our down dog, beginning of our sequence. So use this time, walking that dog out, getting some flexibility, moving in those muscles. Good. Next breath in, look up towards your hands. As you exhale, step yourself forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now, if you inhale, rise to mountain. Remember, we're circling our arms to the side, up and overhead, shoulders relaxed. Palms come together. We're going to exhale, release those hands right through heart center, hinging at that waist, nice and slow and easy. Forehead towards your knees. Inhale, half lift. And plant those hands and step back into plank. Now, we're going to inhale, shifting forward slightly. Exhale, lowering all the way down to that mat. Inhale, low cobra. And then drop those hands, curl those toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, if you need to sort of micro-adjust yourself as you move through the postures, your muscles are going to change. So something that worked in the first round is going to be different than in the third. But use this time to really, hey Gus, you helping? I love when you help. You're such a good helper. Gus is our manager here at Low Tech Studios. Sniffing and sneezing. Take a big deep breath in, look up towards your hands. As you exhale, step it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bending those knees, rising to mountain, circling arms to the side, up and overhead. Bring your palms together, interlace your fingers, release those index fingers. As you inhale, lift your chin up. As you exhale, drop into a nice back bend. Anuttasana. Good. Inhale, rise back up to standing. Now, exhale, releasing those hands, hinging at that waist, back into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And plant your hands and step yourself back to plank. Inhale, shifting forward. Just a little bit, not a lot. Exhale, slow and steady all the way to your mat. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Use this time to really stretch deeper into this down dog. And next deep breath in, look up towards your hands. Exhale, step yourself forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Now bend those knees nice and deep. As we inhale, I play around with moving into chair. Sometimes I reach forward and up, but sometimes it impinges my shoulder, so I might actually go off to the side and then come down into my Utkatasana. Remember, in chair, I really want my weight in my heels, looking forward, keeping my chest open and up. So if this is too much for your shoulders, bring them down in front of you like this, or even to the side, your choice. But let's go ahead and exhale, sweep your arms back like airplane wings. Beautiful. Inhale, arms back up overhead into our classic chair. Palms together. Exhale, release back into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Now plant those hands and step back into your plank. Your choice here. You can continue with low cobra, or we can move into a chaturanga. Now, if push-ups are not your deal today, go from plank into dog, or inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lowering halfway down to our mats. Inhaling into up dog, hold your up dog. Pushing away slowly from your mat. Good, exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so limber up our core a little bit more. We're gonna do a little bit more twisting. So we're gonna inhale that right leg high, and we're gonna exhale, we're gonna sweep that foot through, plant it between our palms, and we're deep low lunge. Yes, low lunge. You licking me? I love when you do that. So getting this deep low lunge, kind of opening these hips up, plant both hands on either side of that right foot, or an option would be to drop that left knee for more support. Inhale, right arm up. Push back against the ball of that left foot. Thank you, Pip. Exhale, bring that right hand back down. Now we're going to move into crescent lunge. I like to do this in 2 stages. So first I'm going to press against the ball of my left foot for stability. Inhale, hinging at my hips. Boom. And then adding my arms overhead. Trying to keep my quad parallel. I'm really feeling all that bike riding I've been doing. Woo! And get that glute engaged. Beautiful. And exhale to warrior 2. So I'm going to begin by taking my back foot, spinning it so it's parallel to the back edge of my mat, lining up my feet, adding my arms. Don't worry if your hips are twisting forward a little bit. That is a natural way that our hips work. And actually, if we try to square those hips up, it starts to weaken our SI joint, which is the joint in our pelvis. And it's not meant to even move that way. So keeping a little bit of a stagger or a external rotation is not a problem. Flip that front palm up. Inhale, let's reverse that warrior. So reaching up, maybe beginning to arc behind you. Or throwing a bit of a half a bind here. Good. As we exhale, we're going to cartwheel those hands to the mat. Step that front foot back into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lowering halfway down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Let's get ready to work that second side. Inhale, left leg high this time. Exhale, we're back to our deep low lunge. Again, sitting here, finding out what's right for you. If you want to drop that back knee this time to the right side or keep it active, your choice. Pushing against the ball of that right foot. Both palms on either side of my left foot. Inhale, left arm up. I dropped the bind on the first set. I'm going to try it on the second. And beautiful. Exhale. Bring that left hand back down. Getting ready for our crescent lunge. Again, I like to do it in 2 movements, but I want to make sure that I'm solid and got a good foundation to start with. Pressing the ball of the foot against my mat. Inhale, hinging up. Exhale, adding my arms. Again, shoulders relaxed. Trying to stay tall, try not to lean forward. And we're going to exhale, opening back into that warrior 2. So checking my back foot. Maybe adjusting it microwave a little bit, stretching it out, looking forward, keeping that knee low. Put that front palm up. Inhale, reach up, reverse the warrior. And then we're going to exhale, cartwheel those hands to the mat. Step that front foot back into plank. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Move those legs around a little bit more. We're going to take 3 movements here on each side. We're going to do 2 more rounds. Crescent lunge, warrior 2, reverse warrior. So inhale that right leg high, exhale, low lunge. Inhale to crescent lunge, exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior, exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, inhale, chaturanga, exhale, lower halfway down, inhale, up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high, exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior, exhale, hands to the mat, stepping it back, shifting it forward, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. Last time, guys, inhale, right leg high, exhale, low lunge. Inhale, we're into our crescent lunge, exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse it, and exhale, hands to the mat, stepping it back, inhale, shift forward, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. This is it. Inhale, left leg high, exhale, low lunge. Inhale to crescent, exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reverse the warrior, exhale, hands to the mat, stepping it back, inhale, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Nice, guys, good warm up. Getting everything moving and grooving. Take an inhale. Go to the top of your mat, step yourself forward. Have a seat. So let's get ready for our core. 4 movements, 4 rounds. 20 seconds worth of work, 10 seconds in between as a rest. So we're going to move right through it. So the 4 movements we're doing, and I'll give you regression and progression options on these. So I'll just tell you what we're doing. Hollow log hold, modified sit-ups, tabletop twists, lots of modifications for these, and plank pikes, okay? So a hollow log hold is really awesome. It's a great way to stabilize your lower back and not just do those endless crunches, which sometimes work parts of us that we don't want to work, and we unduly strain our lower back oftentimes on that. Gus, can I show them what we're gonna do next? Yeah? You gonna help me? I love when you help me. You're such a good helper. Okay, so hollow log hold, really simple. I'm gonna lay flat on the mat. Thank you. Okay, go find Pip. Arms overhead, legs together. Come on, guys. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my shoulders off the mat, arms overhead. My arms are not here, nor are they here. They're here, and then I'm lifting my legs up. Chin is up, so it's not crunching down, looking down my body, it's looking at the sky. Hollow log hold. Options, just do the top half, or just do the bottom half. Now if you're just doing the bottom, arms are up overhead, pressing in, okay? Hollow log hold, those are great options there. Modified sit-ups, we do these a lot. I like these a lot, they're nice and supportive. Hands back by my hips. What I'm doing is I'm just crunching in and out. If I want to make it more challenging, I want to progress it, I'm taking my hands off the mat. So I'm taking away that foundational support. So I got a lot more core going on here, okay? Modified sit-ups. Tabletop twists. So, you know, last time we did a big core, we did a triple core of my last video. And I used side plank rotations, similar idea. In fact, that's where you can progress this. But to begin with, I want to emphasize just our core tabletop. And what I'm doing is I'm just twisting. Bring one arm up, then taking that arm, bringing it all the way in. Trying to bring my shoulder down towards that mat, but not releasing it. So just a nice, good twist here. Tabletop twist. Next up, we've got our plank pike. So plank. Boom. I like a tall or push-up plank to start with. All we're doing is piking those hips up and shifting back. And then up and back. That is our plank pike. So again, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Hollow log hold, modified sit-ups, Tabletop twist, we'll start on the right side, first round, left side second, flip it up, we're doing 4 rounds, and then plank pikes, okay? Let me get the timer started. We've got 10 seconds to start with. Grab some water, towel yourselves off. We don't need any equipment here. If you wanted to add a weight, you could do it with the hollow log holds, have that weight overhead. But really, you don't even need to, because this is an isometric, focusing on the rectus abdominis and those core deep transverse ab muscles as well, okay? So we're gonna do our 10 seconds to start. Let me get this, I'm poking and pressing like it's my phone, and it's not. Hollow log hold to begin with, guys. So stretch it out. And we're up. So arms overhead, shoulders up off, looking at the sky, legs off my mat, pressing my back into that mat, holding nice from isometric. Don't forget to breathe. And you can regress it by dropping your arms or your legs. There we go. All right, we're gonna sit up. We're gonna do our modified sit-ups. To begin with, let's put our hands by our hips, kind of leaning back and stretching those legs out and bring them back in. So first round, let's do it with a little bit of support. Nice and long. There we go. All right, we're back to our tabletop twists. So starting here, I'm going to start with my right side. Again, making sure I'm good, firm foundation with my tabletop and reaching my right arm up and reaching it back. So crossing under my body, like I'm getting ready for a nice yin posture, or what we call threading the needle. And when I make the twist, I'm really opening my heart. All right, remember we're doing our plank pikes. So starting in a high plank, piking those hips up and releasing them. Up and back. Good, piking those hips up. Core stays nice and engaged the whole range. Good job. All right, one round done. We're back to the top at our hollow log hold. Remember, progress or regress as you feel. And we're out. This is the hardest one. Time just drags on this one. I think it's because we're holding nice and isometric. All right, we're sitting up for those modified sit-ups. So the first round, I had my hands nicely anchored. I think I might modify it this round. Taking those arms up. Setting those legs out in front of me. All right, we're doing our tabletop twist. I'm gonna switch around, guys. Tabletop, this time I did my right arm first time. This is gonna be on my left arm on the second. Reaching up and releasing. Plank pikes, staying in the same orientation, starting with a nice tall plank and shifting up and down. Piking those hips up. Stay in control on these. Don't flail around. Be mindful. Engage those muscles. All right, back onto our backs, working into our third round. Hollow log holds. Ah, it'd be the death of me. I need to work out more. All this free time on my hands. Keep breathing. third round, I'm going to go back to more stability here. So hands on my mat right by my hips. Shooting those legs out, bringing them back in. Remember, we're 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We're in our third round. All right, on the tabletop. Right arm's going to twist up. Here we go. Find a nice good rhythm. When I do these in a timed interval, I usually count the reps I'm doing, just that I know how many I'm getting in. Beautiful, all right. Plank, plank. Fingers wide, and then plank. Hips up, and plank it flat. Those hips drop a little bit, that's fine. Keep a nice, fluid, steady movement going. Beautiful. All right, this is our final round, guys. Back to our nemesis. Hollow log hold. Here we go. Chin up, looking up at the sky. Or the ceiling. Keep breathing. 2, 1. Oh. All right. Modified sit-ups. You turn a little bit of an angle so you can see this, guys. Hands by my hips. Legs are in and out. Making it more challenging. Arms up. Good, all right. Now our tabletop twist. I'm going to switch around for you guys. Left arm this time. Reaching up, opening up that side body, getting a good rotation. Again, if you wanted to progress this, you could do a side plank rotation, either forearm or full plank. This is a nice, comfortable place for me to be today. I'm going to stay here. All right. Last time, guys, we got our pike planks. Starting with that tall plank. Boom, and down. Beautiful. All right. Take a break, guys. Sit on back, shake out those shoulders, shake out those hands, bring your palms together. Let's do a little wiggle waggle, move those wrists around. Good. Maybe circle them one way, circle them, reverse them the other. Roll those fingers out. Oh, all right. So today for our strength workout. Again, with or without weights, always your choice. I'm gonna grab my block and I'm gonna grab one of my dumbbells. I'm working with 2 sets. I've got 12 pounders and 8 pounders. I'm gonna grab one of the 8 pounders. You'll see why in a minute. I'm just finished up a course on a movement-based approach to strength training. So I'm going to incorporate a couple things that I found in that process of learning, and adding the weight is fine, but progressing from a body weight positioning up is where we're going to start. So we're going to start with a knee wood chop. You guys have done this before, probably with me as well. I've been doing this class for about 5 years. So I'm sure back in the day when we were at the studios, we've been doing these. But these are knee wood chops. So here's how they look like. I'm gonna grab one of my weights. For demonstration, I'm gonna put my left foot forward, right knee's on the mat. If you're on a surface which your mat's not giving you much cushioning, get a towel, maybe fold it up, slip it under that knee. So what I'm gonna do is, this is hard. No weight to start with. I'm going to start with my hands at my hips. My arms are going to come up and over across my body. I'm getting a good stretch here, good rotation of my spine, and then coming back. And then up and back. You got to be really careful because if you come with too much momentum, you're going to topple yourself over. So you got to stay nice and tall and be really grounded. So movement-based approach to strength. Starting here, really grounded. Adding the weight, I'm taking one dumbbell in my hand, starting at my hip, coming up, and then across. And I'm actually swinging back a little bit behind me. Up and down, okay? So that's our knee wood choppers. Next up is a split leg. So this is in the world of deadlifting. So when I do a deadlift, feet are hip distance apart, that's where I'm coming down. And the big thing about deadlifting is lower back. The way to insulate your lower back is having a little bit of a hinge at that waist, keeping that sort of locked into place, so this nice little natural curve, softening my knees, and when I go down, my hips shift back and come up. So that's a deadlift. What we're going to do is we're going to split leg it. I'm going to take my weight and I'm going to put it right sort of behind that front heel. Now my back foot, I'm rising up the ball of that foot. So I'm going to split leg stance. Think of these as split leg squats, but on the ball of that foot. So as I come down, I'm going to pick the weight up, and I'm going to come up. I'm going to drop it down, leave the weight, come up without the weight. So every other one, I've got the weight in hand, and then I'm leaving it on the ground and coming back up. The point is I'm trying to keep my torso nice and tall. I'm trying to avoid leaning too much forward. If you find you're leaning too much forward, pull it back. Don't go as deep and pitch the weight. And then picking up the weight here. If you want to keep the weight in hand the whole time, not a problem. Feel free to do that as well. So those are our first two, the chop, the deadlift. Side lunge, knee up. Wide stance, knees are soft. I'm going to lunge to the side and then I'll bring my knee up. Boom. We're going to do all one side and then switch it over, all right? If you want to add a weight, my recommendation is you're going to keep it at your chest. Side lunge and then up. Adds a little bit more resistance, forcing you to keep that torso nice and tall. Again, the weight is optional with that. Final movement is a squat forward stretch. Do it off to the side for you guys. Feet wider than hip distance. Knees are soft. Hinge at the waist. You've got to keep a hinge at the waist. To the ear, I'm shooting my hips back, dropping down, and then coming up. That's my squat, okay? So, if ideally my quads are coming parallel to the mat, I'm not dropping my hips below my knees. I'm not doing that. I'm coming to here. Now, as a forward stretch, I've got a block. If you want to use a weight, no problem. Block is forward, starting at my chest. Forward stretch, up. Okay? So I'm shifting back into that squat, stretching forward. If the block's not heavy enough, you can use a light weight. We would progress this using a round medicine ball. That's the goal. So, my block is handy. My one dumbbell is handy. Knee wood chops is a rotation movement. 2 planes of motion. Split leg modified deadlifts. Again, it can be a split squat. Side lunge with the knee up. Squat with a forward reach. 4 movements. 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. 4 rounds, okay? Let's get this timer started. Got a 10-second. Getting ourselves into position. I've got my left foot forward, weight in hand, starting with weight at my chest, coming down a little bit behind my hips and coming up across my body. 30 seconds, guys, is a long interval. You might want to slow things down, especially in the first round, just to kind of see how you're feeling. Yes. Again, crossing that body. If you want to use this with a block, that's perfectly fine as well. Or just grasp your hands into now we're moving right into that split leg modified deadlift. So, on the ball of that back foot, weight is right sort of in the center as I come down. Dropping down, picking the weight up, coming on up. Dropping down, leaving the weight on the ground, coming back up. And picking the weight up. Or if you want, keep the weight in hand the entire range. Nice one for legs. Got a lot of legs in this routine today. Beautiful, weight off the side. All right, now wide lunge, side lunge with our knee ups. Starting with that wide lunge, going to the right, lunging over, bringing that knee up. And remember, a weight is optional here. Remember, as you go into that side lunge, it's a modified squat, so keeping that hinge at the waist. All right, one round done, guys. Back to our wood chops. So, knee wood chops. This time I've got my right foot forward, left is on the mat. Weight is at my hips. Oh, I'm sorry. Squat forward lunges. What a goofball I am. I'm so excited here. My problem. Switch it around. Grab the right equipment. Again, as we go into the squat, keeping that hinge, sending our hips back first. Now, boom, back to the top. Nice mistake, guys. So, weight here at my hips. Coming on up across my body. Then back down around, giving myself a rotation here. And then back on up. This is our second round. All right. Now, coming on up, staying on the same side. This time my right foot is forward, my left is back. Weight is going to be right behind my front heel. Soften that back knee, dropping down, coming up. Again, if you want to keep the weight in hand, doing some nice split squats, perfectly fine. Remember, we're 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So the work portion is getting longer. Good. All right, now, wide stance. We're doing a side lunge, knee up. This time we went right the first side. We're going left this side. Lunging and then coming up. And again, if you want to have that weight right at your chest, right at your heart, not a problem. If you don't want to bring the knee up, just do some really wide squats. It's perfectly fine as well. Nice option here. All right. Now I'm going to pick up my block, go over to those squat forward stretches. Hinging at my hips. Butt goes back, stretching out. Don't worry how deep your squat gets. Work with your range of motion for right now. squats in the yoga sculpt world. All right, boom. 2 rounds done. 2 to go. All right. My left foot forward, my right knee's on the mat, grabbing my weight, starting with my wood chops. Okay, I start with the weight at my hip, coming up across my body, then coming back down with a nice rotation, and coming back. Again, go slow, be in control. If you go too fast, you will get some momentum. You will become unstable, so keeping that stability is critical. All right, rising up. Got those split leg, modified deadlifts. Again, with or without the weight. And again, you can always think of this as a split leg squat. Going now single leg and up. And if you want, you can do it shallower. So coming down like this and coming up. This emphasizes more of that deadlift action, but you've got to keep that back nice and secure. All right. Now, got our nice wide lunge. So we have the side lunge going right, knee up. Soften those knees. Side and then up. If we can see you there, looking outside. All right, grabbing your block or your weight, squat, forward, reach. So in our squat, remember, knees soft, hips, feet wide. Squat it out, reach it forward. Good. The thing to avoid here is when you start to feel that back rounding over. If you do, keep that chest up, which means you might want to keep your squat not as deep, keep it more shallow. I suspect the word I'm looking for is shallower. All right. Now, back at the top. My right foot is forward, dropping my left knee. Weight in my hand, starting at my left hip. Wood chopping across my body, coming back with that rotation, and again up and over, rotating it back down. Whoa! So much fun. Well, thank you guys. All right, now coming on up, split leg. I shortened my stance in that last round. Thank you guys. Let me do it again on this one. So shorten that stance, picking my weight up on the ball of my back foot, dropping down and coming up. And again, making sure I'm keeping that lower back protected by keeping a nice little curve in it. The moment I start to compromise, don't go as low, drop the weight, or lengthen your stance and move more into a single leg split squat. I'm going to put my hand at my lower back. Just make sure I'm monitoring it. Good. All right. Side lunge, knee up. Wide stance. Moving to the left this time. My left. Here we go. Picking it up. right, this is it. Grabbing our block or our weights, or nothing at all, your choice. We're doing our squat, forward, reach. Hips go back, reaching out. Beautiful. Really using those hips, starting with those hips, keeps your back nice and protected. Keep that chest up, work that core. Your core is totally supporting you in this posture. And extending forward, lets us work in the frontal plane. Throws our body a little bit off balance. Awesome. Guys, that was super. Grab some water, dust yourselves off. Move those wrists around, palms together. Shake it off. I know. So crazy. You guys are such crazy boys. Can you help me? You guys are just camera whores, aren't you? All right, now back to some more arms and some chest. Grab your weights. Remember, you don't have to use weights, but I'm gonna suggest we do some tricep kickbacks, some pulses, some standing flies, some rows. We'll do some shoulders after that, okay? Thank you guys. So I'm gonna grab my 8-pounders. And remember, when we start, basically start in chair. So bring your feet together. Bring your weights right at heart center. Shift those hips back into chair. Elbows back. Now watch, my elbow is not moving. I mean, it's hinging, but I'm not doing this. My shoulder is in a solid position. So my shoulder is stationary, and the movement comes from my elbow here. Boom. So this tricep muscles, 3 heads, three heads working. Boom, that's where the movement is. Shoulder is not engaged at all. It is stationary for support. All right, so chair, elbows back, let's go. 1, 2. Let's do 10 more. 1, 2. Good. Weights, keep them behind your butt. Pulse those palms towards each other. 1. 10 more. Nice, all right. We're standing a little taller. Reverse, we're doing some flies. So I'm gonna hinge at that waist. Weights, hang down from me, start at my knees. Arms come up with a pause and they come back down, all right? Up for 1, 2, 'Keep going. Halfway. Two more, guys. All right. Weights at your sides, standing tall like we did before. Small bend in those knees, pulling back, rowing it back. 3, 4. Ten more. Beautiful, all right. Wide squat. Upright rows. I've got my weights there, butt to butt. Scraping up my body, coming under my chins, and releasing down. Up for 1, stay in the squat. 2. Beautiful, second round, here we go. Up out of the squat. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's set those weights off to the side. Want to get a little twisting in before we get into some full recovery. Bring your feet together. Circle your arms to the side, up and overhead. Bring your palms together. Exhale into chair. Inhale, you're going to lean forward for some length. You're going to exhale, take that left elbow, cross it to the right knee. We're going to have revolved. It's called prayer twist, but it's basically chair. And if you want, you can open, drop open. Beautiful. Inhale, rise back up to standing. Palms together. Exhale to chair. Inhale, lean forward. Second side. Taking that right elbow to the left knee, making sure you got the twist. As you exhale, press your palms closer to each other. Press strong. And then if you want, you can open. And then drop. Beautiful. Unravel, release. Guys, have the seat on your mat. I'm going to face you guys. Legs out nice and long, arms overhead. Arms up to the side like a letter T. Take that right knee, pull it in. I'm going to extend that right leg nice and tall, grabbing my right toe, my right arm's up to the side. I'm going to exhale, cross that right leg over. Shoulders are on my mat. I'm looking over my right shoulder, getting a nice good supine twist. And one can kick that lower foot back up, get into a deeper pretzel. And slowly go ahead and unravel the twist. This time my right leg is all the way out on the mat, taking that left leg, grabbing my big toe, extending that left leg up, left arm's out to the side, left leg is crossing over. Again, shoulders nicely anchored, looking to the left. I did it on the first set, I'm kicking back. That lower leg, grabbing the top. Stretch out my quads. A nice good twist going here. Beautiful, slowly unravel. Draw both your knees in, nice, good, tight hug. Let's roll them side to side. Ooh, good job. Move off to the side here. Give that lower back a little bit of love. Let's do some happy baby. Bottoms of your feet reaching towards the sky, pulling through your big toe or your outside edges of your foot or the inside, bending those knees towards your armpits, gently rolling side to side. Hug your knees back in. Roll side to side a little bit more. Beautiful. Extend those legs out, sitting nice and long. Let's open our heels to the edges of our mat. Arms all by your side. Roll those shoulder blades underneath your back. Chin is slightly tucked. Remember, palms can face up. Palms can face down. Your choice. In the yogic world, I read that palms facing up indicates that you're looking for answers from the universe. Palms facing down means you're looking for guidance or answers from within. I'm not sure the universe has got the right answers these days, so I'm taking my palms and flipping them towards my mat. I'm relinquishing any remnants of Ujjayi breath. I left that long ago. I'm just hanging out. Let that workout soak back in. As we did a little bit over an hour ago, take a quick assessment. What has changed in working out this last hour? We did a nice bit of warming up and stretching out with our yoga. And a lot of core and a lot of strength. A lot of legs today. All right, guys, start wiggling those toes, maybe jostling those knees, rolling those ankles one way, reversing them the other. Kind of wiggle those fingertips, roll those wrists, again, one way, flip it the other. Feels good, you can gently roll your head side to side. Giving ourselves another full body stretch. Reach those arms overhead, legs together, really stretching through that core. Pulling those knees up into your chest. Give yourself another tight squeeze. Right arm up overhead. Roll to that right side. And from here, push yourself up to seated on your mat. Awesome. I'm going to grab my block because it is more comfy. I don't know. For some reason, I'm not moving around as much as I normally used to when I had 4 or 5 classes and clients a day. So my hips are getting a little bit stiff. I gotta do some more yoga. Note to self. Anyway, guys, what an awesome workout. Really strong. Again, progressing and regressing. Keep those themes in your head. As you approach every day, things are always a little different. Your mood is different, your motivation is different, the environment is different. Today it's cloudy and kind of muggy here for me, so that's not really motivating me to go outside. So I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go slower, or maybe it's a really awesome day and I'm giving myself a little bit of recovery time. And I want to get out there and hit a strong hike or a bike ride or a swim or a walk or whatever it happens to be, okay? So let yourself do what's right for you that moment and understand progressing movements and regressing. And don't be afraid to mix them up. So if I'm on a walk or a hike, I might take a section faster, I might pull it back as a bit of recovery, kind of ebb and flow. All right, so thank you so much for joining us today. I miss you guys. I'm hoping, just hoping. I gotta stay hopeful. I don't know if I don't, things are gonna get really rocky. So thank you again. Let's bring our thumbs to that third eye, spot between your eyebrows. And from my heart to yours, guys, thank you for joining me, and namaste. And I will see you very, very soon. Probably more of a gentle. Have a great one.